So I just finished watching Destiny, the third episode of Star Wars The Acolyte. If you want to avoid spoilers, I released my spoiler-free review earlier today. It'll be linked in the description and in the cards. But just to summarize, I thought this was a really good episode that gave us some important insight and context into both May and Oshi, and that I think has informed some of the stuff that we saw in the previous two episodes and will inform what we're seeing in the next couple episodes. But what actually happened? So first, let's get the big elephant out of the room. This is a prequel episode, a flashback episode, if you will, about basically when the Jedi first came across Osha and May, and what their life was like. So they grew up in a coven of witches, and it seems like they lived a kind of an isolated lifestyle. Didn't know much about the galaxy beyond their little coven and their planet, and that definitely the clan mother was the way I'm looking for is definitely spoiled them a bit. While their actual mother, definitely wanted to do a not such a soft approach. Though I should say, basically, the clan mother, the one they call Mama, that what she did, the Jedi would find unnatural, and she was saying, and that was their birth mother who was saying that. I forget her name, but definitely, I think the clan mother used the Force in some way, so that way the Coven could have two new children, or one, and maybe they end up being twins. But very clearly, it showed that May, she is perfectly content. She's willing to, where basically the lifestyle they grow up with, she's with that. But Osha, she wants more. She has a longing for something more. Man, isn't that such a setup for a classic hero's journey? You have a pretty decent enough life, but you are longing for something more. Staring out at the binary sunset and sunrise on Tatooine. Oh wait, that's Luke Skywalker, not Osha. Osha says she sits under a tree that they're told is dangerous, but apparently, as Osha says, only when you eat the fruit. But the point being is, Osha wants something more, which is like the beginning of a classic hero journey, though given what we see in episode 1 and 2, that probably doesn't pan out for her, but it might end up panning out. But we get some important context. The Jedi find them, obviously, and apparently the Republic, this witch coven, has been outlawed by them. Why? Hard to say. But at least when we get to see their teachings, it doesn't seem like they were teaching anything inherently dark side, more just a different interpretation of the light. And definitely some of the Jedi, I would say, actually, as all the Jedi were being pretty respectful in their face-to-face conversation. Some maybe more so than others, but the thing is that I do think there is more going on that we don't see because we are solely following Osha's perspective through all of this. We never follow May's perspective. And for Osha, she wants something more, so yeah, she's going to see the Jedi's respect for her. Apparently she knew about them before, and this coven has had apparently bad experiences with the Jedi before, and maybe they did. Maybe at one time they did take a darker view on the Force, and maybe they are going for a more softer, light side view of the Force going now, but the Jedi don't know that, and maybe some of the sisters are more into that stuff. It's very hard, but definitely I do think without a doubt that there at least at one time and somehow might have been a dark side connection. But it does confirm one thing in this episode. May did set the fire. So I know some people were theorizing maybe the Jedi actually did. No, May definitely set the fire. Now, I don't think she intended it to spread, but she did not want Osha to leave to become a Jedi. And the thing is that I think May had put too much of her identity in essentially being a twin, and her and her sister wanting the same things, doing the same things when that's not the case. It's in some ways a common trope in media to have twins who are literally identical. I'm trying to think of a good example. There's always those creepy twins in horror, but I'm trying to think of a good example. Okay, I'm just going to use a Thomas and Friends example. Don and Douglas. Some slight personality differences, but man, they're portrayed as inseparable twins. Same thing with Bill and Ben, where sometimes you can barely tell them apart. Don and Douglas, a little bit more, but still. And I can recall other examples in media of twins who are identical in every single aspect, including personality. But Osha, she doesn't want to do everything and share everything with her sister. She wants to be her own individual. But May is not. And I think May does definitely tap into the dark side, and when she starts a fire and ends up destroying their entire home. So it's not just, I was originally picturing a small little farming house or something like that, a small little hut. No, it's a huge home, and somehow I don't think May actually did kill every single member of the coven. That just doesn't make sense. Yes, I think she definitely maybe did try to kill her sister, but I don't think she actually killed every member of the Coven. I suspect the something happened with the Jedi in the Coven, instigated by May. I do think May instigated what was going on, what happened, and we don't know that because we were following Osha's perspective. And now, granted, there's a thing where So does rush Osha away from one of the bodies. Could that be to hide a lightsaber wound? Maybe, but I don't think so. I don't think Soul knows fully what happened on the plane. I know he knows something went down, but I just get the impression that he doesn't know. And I suspect I forget her name, but the first Jedi killed and then her Padawan Tobin, who May killed in the last episode, knows more about what actually went down. And I think the Wookiee Jedi does too. And that's why he, what's the word I'm looking for? Basically went into a form of exile. For some reason, I just get the impression that Soul was somehow left in the dark, and his only concern in that moment was saving Osha. So we still don't know fully what happened because, again, I don't think there's a way that May could have or would have killed every member of her coven. I do think at least one of those Jedi was responsible. Maybe the one who willingly took the poison. He seemed to have been maybe the slightly most aggressive one. It's hard to say. But I do think something went down that we are not seeing, but May did. But also, I do think May misunderstood something that happened as well, but she eventually met the Sith and they twisted her perception of it. Because I think we clearly saw Osha's perspective and what she experienced, and I think we saw it as she experienced it because I don't think there's any trickery going on. But with May, we didn't see her perspective, so that's still up for interpretation, and it is reasonable to assume that her perspective might be twisted by the Sith. But those are just my thoughts. I would love to hear your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching my video. I do hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please be sure to give this video a like and share. Also, consider subscribing to my channel to stay up to date on my latest content. You can also stay up to date on my content by following me on social media. I have a link tree down in the description which has all my social media links on it. Additionally, if you would like to support the channel, you can become a channel member and get early access to all my videos. In the meantime, thank you for watching, and as always, have a good day, a good night, wherever you are. May the Force be with you always.